Hey guys, I'm the Coaster Keat, and one of the biggest mistakes that people make about me is calling me productive. For one reason or another, there are some people in this world that think that I actually go home, sit down at a desk, do my homework, and, then relax like some completely sane, normal person. And to all of those people out there watching this that do think that I do this, who are you? Why did I make you make this mistake? What have I done wrong in this friendship? Because obviously I have quintessentially failed you. But to clear things up, for all of you that are still unsure that I am not the perfect princess who always does everything on time, all the time, perfectly, I am going to go ahead and run you through my process of what I do when I'm bored. And as an added bonus, this is a patented process that if you want to use for your own coronavirus needs, you can. And you can go through these very same steps to waste God knows how much time doing random things that are completely anti-productive. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. The first thing that I do when I get home is open my laptop and think about doing homework. After about 2 seconds, I decide, no, I deserve this rest, and go ahead and open my YouTube where inevitably my subscriptions all have their nice daily uploads. After binging the 5 or so videos that tend to be in this daily upload regimen, I go ahead and start wondering, what else should I do with my time? However, this wondering is quickly shut down by the search recommendations, which thankfully have these nice 2-hour-long videos that I can decide to just dump all the rest of my free time into. After I watch these 2-hour-long videos, I inevitably reach a point where, I don't really feel any of the recommendations anymore. Everything that's there just kinda seems dry, except for this one thing that kinda looks semi-interesting and is inevitably a TED Talk. TED Talks tend to grab your attention at this point of view because your brain is desperately calling out to you, saying, please, by God, be productive. Please do something that gives us just something to work on. Just stop watching people make really bad jokes at random things And so when you inevitably click on that TED Talk video going over the chemistry of anxiety or something else similar, you start watching and you think, man, I'm such a good person. I am learning so much right now. I am the most productive person in the world. And then the person in the TED Talk inevitably gets to the part of their speech where they say exactly who they are and what they've done. And as the list of all of their qualifications keeps going on and on and on for what you think is about an hour, but you look at the video and you see is about 2 minutes, you sit there and you realize, man, I really should be doing something with my time other than watching people beat up other video game characters and their friends and joke around, and maybe I should contribute to this society that I live in. And so with a false sense of necessity, of belonging, or of needing to contribute something to the world that you live in, I will inevitably go into a spiral of false productivity, working on things like, musical scripts, books, YouTube channels, all of these things that are just completely pointless when you look at it, because at the end of the day, you're never gonna finish it, and it doesn't really add much to your society. I can't count how many books I've started and have gotten about maybe 5 pages into just to throw the whole thing away because I'm bored of it, and I did my productivity for that day, so I feel good about myself. At that point, I'll usually go and binge another show. Sometimes at this point, I'll switch over to a TV show, because if you go to a TV show, then you can make the binge last longer. The problem with YouTube videos is they don't end on just as bad of a cliffhanger as TV shows often do. So when your brain wants to be very guilty and just wants to have an excuse to keep on going, TV shows are the way to go. My most recent ones were Kitchen Nightmares and The Office and Heroes and just a bunch of shows that have these beautiful, beautiful cliffhangers that are just potent enough that you're like, I probably should do something or, get some sleep, but man, I just really need to know if they die in the next episode or if they're going to keep on going, because this is going to impact my life right now. It is at this point when you reach about maybe, I don't know, like 12 if you're lucky, or maybe like 1 a.m. if you went too long, if you're me, or if you're one of my friends. The sun's come up, it's 8 a.m., the birds are chirping, and you're like, oh no, what have I done with my life? But don't worry, once you reach this stage, you can always go to the much trustworthy thing that is caffeine. Whether your caffeinated drink of choice is coffee, whether it's tea like mine is, or whether it's a good old thing of Monster, which some of my friends drink way too much of and probably are going to have serious conditions from drinking so much of, you can find your drink of choice that's going to make it so that you can power through the next day of just a few hours of concentrated work in a steady setting where you're forced to focus on what you are doing, and then to have all of the rest of your time doing pretty much everything but what you should be doing in that period of time. So that is my foolproof way of wasting pretty much every second that I can possibly waste, that can only be interrupted by the inevitable dread that comes when I have a homework assignment, project, test, review session, etc., 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 that kind of comes down like an anvil on my head and says, if you do not do this, you will fail at your life, so you better get off of your butt and start studying organic chemistry. And so that, my friends, is why I am not productive, but in fact, as much of a bum as the rest of you, and I suggest that if you are in this cycle, that, just accept it, figure out what it is, and just go with the flow, get the things you need to get done, and just kick up your feet, sit back, relax, and enjoy the fireworks as everything inevitably crumbles around you. So anyways, I've been the Coaster Keat, and I hope that you all soar high and enjoy your ride of life. Bye!